backing off. I'm Ricky Bobby on the fence theory. Backing off. I'm Ricky Bobby on the fence theory.
Dreams are for rookies.
No, kid. Giving up is for rookies. I came back because I'm not quitting on you. I'm willing to go the distance. How about you?
You were right all along, Phil. Dreams are for rookies.
No, kid. Giving up is for rookies. I came back because I'm not quitting on you. I'm willing to go the distance. How about you?
Every single person out here has a dream, but the reality is that they lose sight of it. We get busy, we get caught up in work, and our dream passes us by. I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen, inspiring people to take the small steps and realize that dream that's way up here is actually possible when you chunk it down and you move closer to it. So I come out here and I hold up my sign every day. Hey guys, my name is Zach. I'm out here talking about dreams. I started doing signs that were motivational and inspirational. And then after weeks of doing that and 40, 50 signs, my friends online said, dude, I know you're missing these great conversations. We need to see what you're talking about with the people, not just a picture of your sign. So I got this GoPro right here. And now it's evolved to where I've become more clear about my life's mission, which is everything about dreams. The very first day I come out here, I'll be so honest with you, I was terrified. I was scared of what people think. I'd already spoken on stage. I was scared. I was like, what if people shut me down? What if people, hate on me? What if people cuss me out? The what if is what holds everybody back. What if they don't?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dream Talk. Excited to be here with you, man. I see Bubba Gump coming in hot. 1 minute first comment in the live stream. Amos followed as second. Yo, Dreamers. Let me start here on Instagram. I've seen a few of you guys also commenting here, not just in the live, but commenting on the post. So shout out to Master Josh. Shout out to Adeyemi. Good to see you guys. You're early birds. The good news is, hey, we have a giveaway, right? Early birds, if you show up in the first 20 minutes and you retweet the stream and drop a comment, you are entered to win 10,000 Dream. It doesn't get much easier than that. But I'm excited to be here with you guys. We're coming back with another installment of Dream Talk. This is a special series, which is called Dreamers University. It's pretty much the same as Dream Talk, except now we're giving you concentrated lessons that you can apply to move closer to your dream without the money. Because the money is the big problem, right? Everyone I talk to says, oh, I can't get to my dream till I do this. And, this money problem. And they wait and they wait and they wait. I'm saying, man, if only you were to do this, if only you were to, today's topic, expose yourself to greatness, these different things, these different concepts are positioning you to be better prepared, not only to get the money or maybe be the catalyst for the money. So, I mean, I can talk here all day. It doesn't help me a ton too. I think it could help dream. I think it could help garner clips, but really it's for that one dreamer out there, that one dreamer who says, hey, I am going to capture this. I'm going to take advantage of this and move closer to my dreams. As you know, you've probably met me. I'm the founder of DreamCat. I say that each week. Just a quick insight for you. Who is DreamCat? This is him right here on the screen. He's the most successful cat in the world, and we're building a community where dreams become reality. So if you want to check that out, check out our website. You can see who Dream is, what he's about, the roadmap that we're aggressively taking off, how we're going to give away prizes, X, Y, Z, in the entire roadmap here in the PDF. I assure you, you haven't read this through entirety yet, or you'd guaranteed be a DreamCat holder. But I digress. Just a quick peek there at Dream, and we're excited to have you here. We are going to talk about exposing yourself to greatness. We're going to do 3 giveaways. We're going to go over the quote of the day. We're going to take a look at the chart, and we're going to go over a little bit of news before we get started here. So my ask for you is, if you're here, please share this out. Your guys' retweets gets us to 100 viewers in the first few minutes. So we're at 18 thus far. So let's see if we can get to 100 viewers by the 20-minute mark, which is when I will announce that giveaway. Okay, so first, before we talk about exposing yourself to greatness, actually one other thing too. After this stream, for 1 hour, if you want to hang out in the Dream community, I'm gonna hunt some raids for about an hour. So if you want to join in that, in the business, please do. Flyboy, welcome. B Woot, welcome. If you're on Instagram. And let's go into a few little updates. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see this. You got to be on Facebook or X or YouTube, which we're trying today. But let's take a peek at this. So one solid announcement that actually happened yesterday. Put this up on the screen. It's going to look very familiar. Here we are. Okay, so this is kind of trippy, right? Because I'm live, but then this is a clip of me speaking. So this is posted on my main account, The Genie. And you can see I pulled a clip from a previous DreamCat podcast we did where I was talking about what I believe in. PopCat is one of my top convictions. I think it'll be the top cat. And so I talked about it and I said, hey, this is content. Let me repurpose this. And this is really, really cool because what this tweet does is it shows you a variety of things, right? Number one, it did very well. Got 10,000 views, 54 retweets, 155 likes, and a whole bunch of comments and a whole bunch of follows as well. And why? And that's because PopCat retweeted it. PopCat, the top cat, right? The number one cat in the meme coin space, retweeted my tweet, which is great. I'm talking good things about PopCat, obviously, so it's good to them. But it's a good example of mutually beneficial because, I'm giving them exposure, sharing conviction, bringing some more credibility to that. And equally, I was able to connect with some PopCat fans. I think the biggest cat maxi girl followed me yesterday. A few PopCat whales followed me yesterday. And a few cat community people followed me. And that's pretty cool because I'm not in the cliques. I'm an outsider. I'm just talking about my convictions, talking about what I believe in, which is cats. So that was really cool. And what it shows you with all that engagement is it's a proof of concept of how you can kind of flip the switch, right? When you can do the right things, you can amplify your reach, but it's all about timing, right? So the Dream's, quiet right now. The market's actually heating up today, but it's not a happening time. But the most important thing is people must know who you are. And so to me, seeing that this clip was shared on PopCat's page, at the bottom it says, $DreamCat. In the top, you can see DreamCat, and it links back to my profile, which, says I dream monumentally big, and I tag DreamCat there. I got a few follows on my Instagram, which is in Linktree. A few people asked me about this podcast. I sent the link out. That is power and purpose. And the big thing is most people, only go by what they see. And to me, it's a very good proof of concept to say, hey, look at what's actually possible. You make one tweet and it gets that viewership and it's at the right time. Is that what a massive action plan would be, right? Is that what you can do to get those eyeballs? So that was a big win that we're excited about. Even when nothing was happening, it was a slow day. Got connected with some new PopCat people, some more people in the community. And hey, cat season, you know the drill. We're rooting for cat season. We're calling for cat season. On a personal note, I want to say something else. And this is just personal. I guess Dream Talk podcast, I can just air out personal things here. Yesterday, I went to Hollywood Studios in Orlando, which is a theme park. And I had a moment. I had like a highlight moment comparable to, gosh, I don't know, it's been at least 2 years. So I can show you. I don't even need to tell you because we're on stream and I can just show you. So let me do that. Okay. Now this is just my own personal life. So it's, not necessarily an engaged with thing, but let me show you nonetheless my tweet that I made so you can get the full picture of what I'm about to tell you. All right. So just on a personal note, I was in Hollywood Studios yesterday and there was this show, and it's a show by Walt Disney, obviously he's passed, called One Man's Dream. Well, this is Dreamcat, obviously, right? Relive the adventures from Mickey Mouse to the Magic Kingdom. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, like my eyes were popping out of the socket. And what I actually saw walking up was this right here, right? So it says like Walt Disney Presents, and that caught my eye. And it says Walt Disney, One Man's Dream. And I walk inside of here and I posted the full video, a 2-minute video in our Telegram. I walked through here and it's basically Walt Disney's entire life, each thing he did, the highs, the lows, the blueprint of his theme park. And look at that. Look what's right there. Ah, yes, that's the genie right there. That's almost like divine alignment in itself that the genie's lined up for this picture. So it was everything. It talked about the steps of his life, what his ambitions were, what he did as a kid, like all these different things. And I was a kid in the candy store. I soaked up the whole thing. Then I went to the movie that was like 16 minutes long, and I was hand on my chin in thinking mode. Why is this relevant? Well, this is Dreamcat. But to be fair, Walt Disney's probably one of the people that I connect with the most because of imagination, making dream into reality. People didn't believe in him. And if you go through this was the most fascinating thing. And this is what I'm going to connect right now to Dreamcat and what people are doing here in Meme Coins, the builders, is when I read about his story on 5 separate occasions, maybe 4, he was the first. He was the trailblazer. So he was going through and he was like the first person to bring color to comics, right? To animations. He was the first person to do that. He was the first person to take animations, cartoons, and say, I'm going to make a full length picture. I'm going to add audio to it, sound, music. He was the first to do like 4 or 5 different things. He was the first person to really naturalize this theme park idea and take the carnivals and, the more simple things and make a full encompassing mega theme park. And that was a trend that I looked at as, wow, he did this. Bill Gates, who I don't even like, but to be fair, is a nut and very, very successful. He did something similar. He said the best place to go is, he actually called it virgin territory. He said the best opportunity is virgin territory. What does that mean? It means the best opportunity that exists is the place where no one is or no one is doing what innovators do, what visionaries do, what dreamers do. And so reading all that, it says, that's a confirmation for where we are today in building dream. The way we're trying to do this is we're a meme coin like many of you. I see Bubba Gump down there, Ninja Cat, a few other meme coin friends. We are doing something that hasn't been done in our own way, right? And just the fact that it's personal development, it's basically taking self-help and bringing it to a meme coin, inspiring, using it as a vehicle, using it as a tool, and then building out the meme coin character, Dreamcat himself, the mascot, and then potentially, not financial advice, no promises, I'm just talking, I'm believing, I'm dreaming out loud, of moving that into the real world and using it. So very inspiring, very reassuring. And this is why you study the greats. So you can see what they did. You can model in a sort. So that was just huge confirmation for me, huge inspiration yesterday. And also one other note about that is when Walt was doing what he was doing, it was so hard. He needed like 10 people to do this. And AI is, I was just thinking, I was like, man, there's really no excuse. This so many accessible tools in our era. You can really do anything. You just got to lock in. So that was my update. A little inspiration, dreaming in real time, even when it's quiet, right? Dreaming in real time. That to me, that trip yesterday is important part of the dream journey. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Okay, before I get in, let's dive into this topic. Expose yourself to greatness. It'll be a shorter one, but 16 minutes. Let's do the giveaway real quick. Looks like Mr. Scene reposted. Did he comment anywhere? It's okay. He's a dream whale anyway, he says. But let's check if I missed anyone. So we're gonna do this giveaway. Quick number generator. We got how many? We got 10 retweets. Okay, I see you guys. Comments. I see Soja. Soja, did you retweet? You did. Okay, we'll add Soja to the list. Cheers to you. That's 5. Anyone else? Man, my man Jin King. Are you here, Jin King? I like Jin King. What's up, Jin King? Great. All right, let's get into this. So we got 5. Let's do this giveaway. I'll pop over and show it to you so you can see. Here we are. And let's get on with this thing. I want to get better and better at this because I'm realizing when I posted this on YouTube this week, one of the last episodes I posted on YouTube, and I realized people don't want to go through all this beginning stuff. So I'm going to keep working on that. So 5 entrants, 1 through 5, generate 5. It is Soja. Congratulations, Soja. You were the first winner. There will be 2 more winners. How can you win those? 1, hang around for the keyword. I'm going to mention it. I'm only going to mention it 1 time this time. There's a keyword. I'm going to mention it. It's your job to type it when I do. It's just for the people who are showing up here tapping in. The 3rd giveaway is for an active participant like Cats of Crypto, who's here right now. He says, let's do it. I'm here. I'm tapping in, learning about exposing myself to greatness. If you tap in with us, if you're listening to the stream, you'll be entered in the end. You know, it's someone who tags a few people, requotes, shares, comments. There you have it. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about exposing yourself to greatness. This is maybe the 5th or 6th lesson now, and it's a interesting one. If you have a dream, or maybe you don't have a dream, and you're very realistic, and life is poor me, my life sucks, this is my reality, boo-hoo. Or you're like, man, when I grow up, I want a Corvette because a Corvette's cool. But then you go to a higher level and someone's like, I have 12 Ferraris. So there's levels to the game, right? In any circumstance, in any situation, one of the great things that inspires the uninspired is exposing yourself to greatness. Something that inspires dreamers to dream even bigger is exposing yourself to greatness. And what do I mean by this? I mean that your environment shapes who you are and who you become. Your friendships define your standards. Okay? And your standards are contagious. So if you're out here right now and you got 4 buddies, and what's your routine? Oh man, these are my buddies from school. We do whatever we do. That could be we play darts every Saturday. Then we watch a little bit of the game. Then we talk about football some more. I don't know. That's one scenario. Maybe there's some other guys who are obsessed with photography. 5 guys get together. They say, hey, I did a shoot in Uptown this week. I did a shoot at Disney World. I just took this course because I'm trying to be a better photographer. Check out my new lens. Whatever. You have your group. You have your clique. You talk about different things. So these groups, your circle, your 5, your environment is shaping you. And if you are in a situation where, you know, $1 million house, or I don't know, a nice car, or enough money to be financially free is so out of reach for you, if you never get a taste of this good life, if you never expose yourself to greatness, then you will never have the driver. You'll never have the hunger. You'll never have, you may, but you'll be missing a lot. Because the reality is that when you get a taste of the good life, it changes everything. It really does. How do I know? How do I know? Because I grew up without, right? doing just fine. I don't believe in his sad story. I had a perfectly fine childhood, but apartment, no vacations. You don't get to do some of the things that maybe some of your other friends do because we lived in a good area, but it's just like, oh, this is a standard. So, hey, we stopped at Taco Bell today. Hooray. And we got to eat out. It's a standard of understanding. Like, oh man, Taco Bell. Oh, we feasted at Taco Bell. Today it was my birthday. So we went to Olive Garden, right? To someone, no offense, this is just real. We're here to dream big. To some, Olive Garden is that, or Outback Steakhouse is that tier. And then I go with my boss, who was one of the best sales trainers in the past, and we go to like a real steakhouse where my steak's $200. And I said, this is the best broccoli and cheese I've ever had. This is the best potato I've ever had, and this is the best steak I've ever had. That moment exposed me in a sense further to greatness. It raised up my level of standard. And matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story. I actually got made fun of because they said, how do you like your steak? And I said, well done. Can you believe that? Because why? I had no experience. All I know is all I know, right? My mom says, oh, she just taught me this, like red meat's bad, whatever. So I didn't know. So that was an embarrassing learning moment for me when I said I wanted my steak well done, but no one taught me the finer things. No one exposed me to these things until it happened. Okay, that's one example. So that's how I can tell you I know it works, because you are content, grateful. I'm grateful. I'm living a good life. Like someone was telling me they saw my studio and they said, man, you got maybe one day I'll have it like you. And I'm like, if only I just got this and I want to take the levels higher and higher. But it's just, it's all the different points of view, wherever you're looking at, wherever you're seeing things from. And what I want for you as the dreamer is I want to give you the best chance to dream as big as you can. Because one of the biggest mistakes when I listen to these self-help guys who are 50, 60, they made their dreams come true. And they're like, my biggest mistake that I hear over and over is I just didn't dream big enough. They didn't dream big enough. Why? Because they didn't know what was possible. They didn't have anyone around them. They didn't go see, maybe it's the best neighborhood there is. There's levels to the game everywhere. Someone wants to make six figures and says, man, if I can make six figures a year, I'll be set. And someone else is spending six figures on their jet fuel for a month, right? Levels to the game. And I'm not saying it's all about wealth and riches and materialistic things, because honestly, I'm not even that privy to that stuff. I don't need a fancy watch. Sure, I'll get a nice car sometime, but I don't really care that much about materialistic things. I love life. I love living. I love creating. I love dreaming, right? So but this still applies, because the magnitude of my own dreams is, and this is the point where I'm teaching from, what I've been exposed to and learned and witnessed, is they've leveled up tremendously based on the exposure. And different moments in life took my own thoughts to different levels, and they continue to stack and progress. So let this be the warning sign for you to say, can I take my ambitions, my dreams to a higher level? How can I expose myself to greatness? So let me just give you some examples, right? Again, think about your friend group, think about your environment, think about what's big to you. What is big to you? Right? What is big? How much? What's big money-wise? What is big success-wise? What's your biggest dream? What do you want to be in life? Do you dream of being the president, or you say, man, that could never happen. The biggest thing I could do is be my middle school principal, and that'd be huge. Well, that's your choice. That's all based on your own standard of what's big. Right? If you have those small town vibes, small town ambitions, that's only because you never exposed yourself to greatness. You set a bar of what's big and what's high because of who's around you. You got to get in the scene. You got to get in the environment, taste it, feel it, witness it. And then you begin to imagine and say, well, man, what if I did this? Man, what if I went even bigger? And that's what happens to big dreamers. It stacks and stacks. So what was I saying before the principal? Maybe you could be the principal. Oh yeah, money. Okay. So think about all those buckets in your life. What's big to you? $1 million is big to a lot of people. and they say, man, I want to be a millionaire. Guess what? In 2025, millionaire isn't even crazy anymore. That used to be a standard in, I don't know, 20 years ago, be a millionaire. There's houses that are average looking. I mean, especially if you're in Canada, $1 million is not that crazy. It's not. You can't even retire. I mean, how long could you live on $1 million? It all depends on what standard of living you want to have. But that's not a retirement. That's not quit your job forever. And maybe you buy some time with $1 million. So $1 million is a lot to some people. $1 billion is a lot to some people. All about your standard, right? To me, I mean, what's a lot? 100 billion. That's a lot. Damn, 100 billion? That's a lot. I used to think $1 million was a lot. Here's a good example. I used to think $1 billion was a lot. In the last 3 years, I've shifted my capacity for $1 billion being like this top chase all number, 2.5 to 2.5 billion, right? And I'm like, man, actually, that's a more realistic number looking at things. So it's just a game. It doesn't matter how big you dream. There is nothing stopping you from being a big dreamer or small dreamer besides other people critiquing you, besides other people saying like, oh, like I just said what I just said. Oh, $1 billion, 2.5 billion. People here listening may be thinking, if you're insecure about your own dream, you may think, oh, who does he think he is? Oh, he thinks he's just going to, well, how much money does he have? So now you want to target me, right? And I'm not saying that most of you are probably not that way, but someone who hasn't opened their mind may think that way. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what the magnitude of my dreams are. There is no limits on dreaming. It takes no more effort to dream a small average dream than it does a big massive dream. The headspace, the imagination, they're all in an infinite supply. Infinite. You can dream as big as you want. There's nothing stopping you. And guess what? The people who dare to dream really, really big, well, they don't all make their dreams come true, but everyone who did dream big made their dream, or everyone who did make their dream come true had to dream big, right? So it's not a guarantee. Thank you, Thurston Waffles, for sharing the stream. Who's on Facebook? Let me know. We can actually see Facebook comments now. The person who gave me a like. So if you're watching on the Facebook page, now I can read Facebook comments. A little shift there. Pretty cool. So, I mean, it gets me fired up. There's no limits. So how big can you dream? And, you continue to expand it. And that's what I do. My dreams have grown every year, year after year. So let me tell you now about how you can. I want to give you a few scenarios. I want to talk about expanding your dream. I want to give you an example by Ed Milet. And I want to talk about how you can actually, I've told you this theory. I've told you should expand, but what can you do? What would be examples, right? Exposing yourself to greatness. Well, one great example would be, how about a hotel? A hotel, right? I've been to some hotels before. I think my current standard was, I don't know, it wasn't terrible, but whatever's cheapest, right? That's how we used to live. Whatever's cheapest, we'll get. Whatever clothes are the cheapest, looking at the price, whatever hotel's the cheapest, that's the one we'll go to. That's one way to live, right? And so that's an example. If you're used to staying in a motel where you may have a stain on your couch, you may have a door. Have you ever stayed in a place where the doorknob jiggles? You're like, you go to the bathroom door in the motel and it's just like jangling all around, or even the front door that's closed is like got all these marks and bent doorknob and, chip paint everywhere, or you've stayed something like that. And that shapes you, that affects you, right? That's one level. And if you think, man, this is just my standard, this is just what I can afford, that means you're creating out of your current reality. That's not what dreamers do. Dreamers fast forward, and Adiyami knows this because he's tapping in. Neville Goddard says, dreamers go to the finish line. They go to the end of what they desire and they feel it as if it's already true. And then it manifests and is reverse engineered, right? Back to them. That's how they do it. That's how they play it. So if you're used to that Motel 6 standard, perhaps you can start saving for a one-off experience. You can say, okay, I'm going to plan an experiment over these next 2, 3, 6 months, a year, depending on your financial situation. I'm going to set aside $100 a week, $5 a week. It all depends what your situation is and what fits to you. But in the sense of the hotel, Let's just say you set aside $100 a week and you end up saving up $2,000 to go to a very nice luxury golf club, 5-star resort for one night or 2 nights, whatever that can get you, right? And now you act as if. Maybe if you want to really ball out, you just do it for one night and you spend the remainder of that money to rent out a really nice car on Turo, right? On Turo, you could get like a pretty solid luxury car for maybe $600 for one day. So you have a 24-hour dream life experience that's all brand new and foreign to you. You go rent this car, then you pull up to the 5-star hotel. They come out. Yeah, you actually have some cash because you're going to tip them. You're going to get $20 is a lot to you, but you're going to get in the process of just giving it away freely. Maybe even a 50, maybe even 100, because you're I don't want to swear, but you're playing with your mind, right? You're mind banging yourself, we'll say, okay? You're mind banging yourself. You're just exploding your own reality. I just gave away $100 and that took me 8 hours to make $100, right? And you just give it away. So you go in there in your car, the chauffeur guy comes out, he parks your car for you. You say, "Oh yeah, Mr. Johnson, sir, welcome to the 5 Seasons. Right this way to your room." They carry up your bags. You go to a place and they have a fruit basket waiting for you with some champagne in there, and it's on the house because you're a big shot now. And you go down to the golf course and you mingle with these other people at the bar, wherever. And for that day, you are actually getting to live it. When you live it, even in a small scale, this is how you get a taste. You got to touch it. When you think, oh man, like there's that billionaire guy, you have all these misconceptions, right? Like my family used to have. Oh, if you're a billionaire, if you're rich, that means you've screwed over poor people. That is a belief of the poor. That's wrong. If you're rich, you screwed everyone over. Now, crypto here isn't the most holy, isn't the most wholesome. So maybe that's what you've seen. But on the biggest stage, the people who have provided the biggest value and serve the world are actually the people who have everything they want because they thought of other people first. And to be fair, to be bullish about DreamCat, this is how we're living. Okay. Our purpose and dream is literally to uplift, to inspire, to propel forward, to bring people who have a dream into one place, to show them what's possible, to guide them in a way. I don't pretend to know all the answers, but I have the blueprint. I'm following it, right? So you don't have to really believe in me today. I don't expect you to, but when I make all my dreams come true, many people will want to listen. And I'll say, man, just go back and listen. I'm not going to tell you. We put it out there. And that's what's really cool, right? Is that you're playing this game of life and you can just share what you know and all that, but it's right for the taking. So you live that life, you're in that hotel, you live like a 5-star G for one day, and then you go back home. You go back to your, I don't know, 1995 Toyota Corolla with 260,000 miles, and it's got a rusty door, and you sit in it, and you're like, damn. Like, this is just not the move. I was driving that Ferrari, and I felt so, man, I felt the way that girl looked at me when I pulled up with the Ferrari. That guy shook my hand. No one's ever given me eye contact like that. Matter of fact, when I walk around, people don't even look at me. They give me some half-hearted handshake. But that guy, man, I was dressed the party. He shook my hand firmly, and he called me Sir Johnson and everything. And man, it felt good. And you go back to your old reality, and now there is discontentment inside. Something feels off. Something feels wrong. That's the yearning of desire. That is the yearning of the desire. That is your heart, your inner self, your soul saying, we've seen this. Why can't we have this? And your mind starts thinking. Your mind starts going off. And well, what if this? And you get ideas, and the little light bulb goes off, and you start to reevaluate and say, man, okay, now let's take that thought a step further. Okay, it felt really good, but let's be real. I work at Best Buy right now. I got 3 kids. I can't just quit this job, right? Your mind starts thinking like, okay, I liked that. That was cool, but maybe it's not realistic for me. And that's another thing that dreamers do, or that dreamers don't do. Dreamers don't consider realistic. It's not about realistic. Dreams are not realistic. They are limitless. They are ambitious. They are without form. Anything's possible. And that's the dreamer way. So, okay, you're thinking practically, realistically, how do I get this? How can I, I don't know. I work here. I got to pay the bills. I got a mortgage, whatever. Now here's the next thought. Well, wait a minute. Wait a second. You guys know that little meme? He turns around. He's like, wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Anyway, you start to think, okay, there was 12 guys I was golfing with. They're all there. They have a house. They have kids. What are they doing that I'm not? And that's the smartest thing that a dreamer can do is model and look at, find people who have the life that you want to live and observe. If you're in that small pocket of down here, everyone around you, chances are at a similar standard. And to be completely fair, this is where I am in my life. It's at every level. Right now, my peers, who I'm not a very social guy, I have friends, but I pretty much just hang out by myself. It sounds terrible, hang out by myself. I just do my thing, right? I'm very independent. I hang out on social media. I'm hanging out with all my friends here on live, just speaking to anyone. I don't even need to know you, and I'm speaking to you, and it's worthwhile. So, but the people who I do maybe communicate with, who I maybe have a little bit deeper relationship with, they're all at this similar level, borderline, entrepreneur in some way. Maybe they have a podcast. Maybe they speak. Maybe they are doing a coding class. Like they have a certain level of social media. They have a certain level of freedom, right? Of nice things. We all have a similar standard. And I'd say all of these people, the direct people, all of these people, I think, have less than $1 million net worth, right? And it's just interesting. And I guess when you explode, your network changes, right? So if you go from this 1 million group to 20 million group, your circle would change. But it's a balance between trying to work your way into that circle, helping out people who are below you, which we do here too. Everyone does this. It's a combination. You help people who are below you, you interact with people who are at your level, and you reach for the stars and see how you can bring those higher up people better value. Right. So when I think of it in my direct circle, I have this group of people, and then there's outskirts flirts, right? There's a couple people who maybe I have a small tab with who are astronomically, bigger and beyond. And so I can flirt that way with a little message here or a little reminder there. But it's so good to see it, because now I can materialize it. Man, this guy has it. I'll use Andy Frisella as an example. Andy Frisella, he's a business leader. He's got, 14 supercars. He's got this $1 billion business. He started from zero without social media. He made $36,000 profit over 10 years in business. Everyone told him to quit. Everyone mocked him. And then he talks about how now everyone says, hey, could you give money for my kids' Boy Scout cookies for this fundraiser? Could you do this? Now they all believe this is how the game works. But I look at him, and he is someone who's opened up. He's been transparent to say, here's my life. Here's what I did. And I'm just a regular guy. And so is that guy. And so is that guy. We're just regular people who do what? Do the work, pay their dues. I set 5 goals each day. I achieve these goals each day. They all compound me. I'm consistent. I operate in discipline, doing things when I feel like I don't want to do them. It's just the simple laws that we operate by, that we teach. We're just like Andy Frisella, right? He only made $36,000 profit in his first 10 years. Now he has one of the biggest supplement superstores because he was consistent. Well, here we are in Dream. We're going on it's 17 months yesterday. 17 months. What do we have to show for it? We're just like Andy, man. Oh, we haven't turned many profits, and it's just a small scale thing, 60K market cap, and just putting the little pieces together. But where will that be in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 years? If you never quit, you could do this right now. Thurston Waffles, you could do this right now. You could say, man, I'm shouting you out. He says, always insightful, Zach. Great, Thurston. So think of it. What if you adopt some of these principles of maybe something that you haven't really messed with? The principles of success, right? It's just a formula. So, man, if it's just like consistency, if it's continually getting better, if it's learning and improving and stacking and never giving up, if it really matters to you, if it really is your dream, you can do that. You could do that. And what kind of results will you get? It can't be completely delusional. You got to improve. You got to do something right. But it's that stacking. So, wow, that was a nice rant and a half right there with no breath. But we can take it a little deeper. Now we got some more viewers here. 195 viewers have stopped by so far. That must be because you guys are sharing it out. I appreciate that. I'm gonna take a quick peek at YouTube, which I've tried streaming over there today for the first time ever. I have 200 people over there, but I'm not very active. It is streaming live. Let's see if there's any viewers there. I have 200. No active current viewers. One person has watched so far. YouTube, trying things, getting set up. Anyway, okay, so that's a basic example. Does that make sense? Exposing yourself to greatness. I got stories for days. I could give you more. But you got the hotel, leveling up your circumstance, the steak. That's a cheaper bar to hit. If your standard is Taco Bell and your nice experience is TGI Fridays, save up the $250, the $300, and dress up and go and order a bottle of wine that would normally be too much for you. Experience that. That is exposing yourself to greatness. And what that does is raise your standard. When you raise your standard of expectations, you will no longer live at a certain level. You actually refuse to. Okay. And this is what I want to talk about next. And this is a principle that I've borrowed respectfully from the great Ed Milet. Ed Milet really hit this home. He tells, and it was so true. So I'm going to share it with you. He tells an example about a thermostat. Okay. Think about the thermostat in your home. Air conditioning, okay? Maybe you normally have it set at, I think mine's at like 73 in Florida, right? 73, or maybe it's at 74. So 74 is what I'm comfortable with. It's a little bit hot at night. You got to blast the fan. 69 is maybe a little bit too chilly. We're at 74. This is where the standard is. Now, if you apply 74 to your life, I mean, that would be certain things for me. Like, I got to have these foods in my fridge, right? There's never not food. That's a standard for me. Like, I get the foods that I want. I eat these foods. My internet bill gets paid no matter what. My phone gets paid no matter what. I do this stream on Thursdays no matter what. I show up to Dreamcat every day no matter what. That is my 74 degrees thermostat. They're the constants, the comfies. And guess what? I make a certain level amount of money that I am truthfully stuck at. And we're trying to explode out of it this season at this time, right? At one point in time, a $10,000 win was allowed for me. I want to get into all the numbers because I don't want to make it, too revealing or whatever. Danny boy, what's up? Okay, so there's a certain standard, right? And when I crossed it, it was a lot. But the same thing, the thermostat changed. So now it's not a lot anymore. So then there's a new standard. And I've hit that new standard, which previously would have been like life-changing, like 3 or 4 times. And it's so ironic because there's another level out there that you want to get to. And once you get there, it's a whole new game. But point being, 74 degrees for me is what my thermostat is at. This is my level of normalcy. What is yours? You know you have one. If you have a standard that you follow, and whatever your standard is, this is what you deal with. If I get something goes wrong with my car, it's like, I got to have it fixed. It's just the standard, right? It's got to be fixed. I can't that's the standard I set, 74, okay? Now, here's the thing. If this thermostat ever gets out of whack, if my windows get broken out and I don't know, all the heat comes in and it goes up to 78. Oh no, 78 is not good for me. I need 74. I'm going to get the tape. That's a stupid example. I'm going to buy some windows, fix the windows, talk to maintenance, XYZ. I'm going to do all these things because I got to get back to 74, right? Because I went to 78. 78 is no good. Well, the thing is that you will always regulate to your thermostat. This works for the good because you have a standard, but this also happens when you start to succeed. Big, what I'm about to say. When you start to succeed, your thermostat changes. Oh, I'm used to this much money. I'm used to this level of living, 74. But then let's just say cold is bullish, right? So now I'm getting down to like 68. I just made $1 million in a month. That's big for me. Used to want to make $1 million in 1 year. I just made it in a month. Now I'm down to 68. If I don't change, my belief system about what's possible, my self-esteem, my level of who I am and who I am destined to be and what I think of myself and what I think is possible for my life, what I think is normal for my life. If I don't change these things, I will self-sabotage. And that's what people do who win the lottery, right? So if I get $1 million in a month, and I've never seen that much in a month, and I don't change who I am or expect that or whatever, I will find a way to go back to 74. So this is just what it is. So what a thought. Whether bad things happen that you aren't like, you're like, I can't do that, you're going to go back to that 74. Or if good things happen and you don't change, you will go back to the 74. So bringing it home now, exposing yourself to greatness. My point is, some of you are here in meme coins experiencing a once, twice, 3 times in a lifetime moment. You are going to get rich on meme coins this year. You're going to have more money than you've ever had. Maybe it's 10K for you. Maybe it's 100K for you. 100K for you. Wow. 100K for you. Maybe it's 10 million for you. But if you are not in the you should expect these things to happen. The reason you expose yourself to greatness is to get yourself used to the good life. You have to prep yourself, your expectations, your level of who you are to expect these things as the norm. And if you can change yourself to this level, your expectation actually becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy reality. Baby. Come on. There it is right there. That's the whole thing. You're out there saying, man, I hope I can be rich one day. Man, I dream of this, and man, I'm poor and this and this and this, and you can barely even dream of the good life. And when it comes, it's going to leave just as fast because you never changed the inside. You should be expecting. It should be, I should make $1 million in a month. That fits up with the standard of reality that I've built for my dream life. Yes. $1 million is normal. $1 million is nothing. This is a belief that I have. $1 million is literally nothing. Respectfully to money, respectfully to my circumstance and everything. This is just a thought. So when it comes, it's nothing to me. When dream hits 5, 10, 20 million, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to say, I'm going to count the blessings and say, hey, we're happy to be here. But I'm going to say, I can't say I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. Even some people in their head, like today, I'm going to pick on Turbo now. This is unexpected. I was hanging out with Turbo earlier on a space. Turbo I love. And he said something, and I picked up on this. I was like, ooh, in my head, I was like, man, I got to talk to him about this. So he had said like, hey, some of us, because Dream's at, I think, 66K market cap right now, right? Oh, wow. We're so small. No one wants to buy. We're so little. We're at 66K. I think Turbo's at maybe 45. So in a sense, we're in the same level of circumstance, right? Peers, people we're hanging out with. I think Fine Citizens is at 600K. We're all under $1 million. Same thing with the money. We're all under $1 million. Ninja Cat, right? 100K, all under the $1 million. Cats of Crypto, Thurston Waffles, okay? So they're at 35, we're at 66, and he's like, man, I've seen it. You can go from 35 to like $1 million overnight. And from 35 to $1 million, that may seem like a quantum leap. That's a 33x. That seems like a lot on paper. But to me, in my expectation, that is just a very low barrier because it's getting to $1 million is actually easy if you do what everyone's doing in meme coins, right? It shouldn't be some crazy scenario. It's all about what you believe in, what you can sell yourself on. Do you look at the $1 billion empires? Do you realize what are ways that we could get to this target? What are things that we could do to kind of like, okay, real world. How can Dreamcat get to $1 billion? I've mapped these things out. I've looked at them. I said, well, we're doing the opposite of everyone else. That makes a big seesaw effect. That's very different. It's all about timing. It could be the golden ticker, right? You've seen the power of a golden ticker. Something comes out. We've been here every day for 5 years. The catalyst comes. It gets you to 20 million. At 20 million, Nothing in the past matters. And what matters is how we show up. Is there 100 people in the chat? Yeah, because we built the believers. Is there a high quality podcast out that's been showing up for weeks? Yes. So we're already living at a 20 million standard of sorts, right? Like that's how you can think of it. So that's a lot. That's a big burst for you, but I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. And let's see if I can go back. I'm trying to rewind to that thing that I told you guys where I started banging on the table. I'm trying to get back to that because that was the magic. So you have the thermostat. Okay, I'm just going to rewind here and make sure I clean this up. So now for all of you, you're here, you're going to get rich this year, right? Maybe you're that one. When you listen to the people talk too, the people who are ahead of you, they say, like, an example would be winning the lottery, but not being mentally prepped for it or having that financial acuity. You're going to get it and you're going to lose it. And then you got it so easily without any principles, which is why DreamCat exists, to give you the principles to become a dreamer and make your dream come true, with or without the pump, with or without. I'm not going to sell, and I'm still pumping real life. I'm still taking the journey. Okay. So will that, if you win quickly and you have it, chances are it's going to fall through your fingers. You're going to lose it. It's going to go somewhere. 5 years, it's gone. You will spend, this is an anomaly. It's not easy to just make $30,000 on $100 or $500. That's not normal. So you were going to make this and you were going to spend the rest of your life wondering what happened and how you can get back. You're going to keep taking well, I can just put 500 in and 30,000 comes out of the magic money machine. This is not normal. This is not supposed to happen. This is a special opportunity, which is why you need to do the things, alter your mind, alter your habits, alter your beliefs so you can win no matter what's going on in the bear anytime. Regardless, even if you have $0, you can win listening to Dream Talk University. Library cards are free. YouTube, all of you are listening, you have internet, you have YouTube. You can read audio. You can you know what I've done? I've transcribed Tibetan scrolls into English with Google Magnifier, whatever it's called. I've copied it and transcribed and read it. That is the alpha available to you. Tibetan scrolls that are online for free. Okay, so I stated all that. I don't want you to go down to 68, make your bag, and go back to 74. We operate under thermostats. In order to shift the thermostat, my best advice is to expose yourself to greatness. Get a taste of the good life, and this will drive you. Time for me to give you more examples and wrap this up. The key word is, right now, if you're here, you caught it. The key word is greatness. Comment greatness in capital letters in the Telegram, here on X. I think everyone will be here. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, wherever you are, the keyword is greatness in all capitals. I will be stingy. If it's not in capitals, you don't get the chance to enter. That's all you have to do. Comment in the live chat, comment on the stream. I'm saying it once. Greatness, greatness, greatness. Comment this and you are entered to win 10,000 Dream. Thank you for hanging out and listening. I hope this can serve you. Okay. So, bringing it all home then. 68, 74, expose yourself to greatness. Okay, now I'm going to give you further examples, right? Where was I going with this? I had it. I shouldn't have shifted. Exposing yourself to greatness, further examples to bring this home. I can definitely say this is something that I've done a multitude of times. I'll just go to the one that's low-hanging fruit. I've shared this before. I had never gone on a vacation before. My first vacation was a 30-day extravaganza in Hawaii. I saw all the things, right? I flew on a helicopter. We ate whatever we want for dinner with my grandparents. They're the ones who treated me. I lived a double life. My double life of one side poor and one side well-off grandparents shaped me as a person. I had the gift of starting from the low and getting a taste of the high and then going back to the low. That inspired me. That shifted me. That is, you say like, man, I don't drink coffee. I don't do caffeine. And people say, how do you have so much energy? It's called burning desire. You have this burning desire that can be ignited in you. And it's a gift to find it, I found the burning desire before I even found my purpose. It took me like 7 years to find the purpose, but I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew this is the standard. This is the standard for me. I got the taste and I decided this was actually what happened. I was on a balcony in Hawaii on the 30th day of the vacation, about to go back to my regular life. I assume I was still living with my mom at the time. I was about to go back to my regular life. My grandparents took me to Hawaii. They paid for everything. Double split family, double life. I'd never gone with them anywhere. And I have gone with them somewhere, but I never went to Hawaii. So I'd visit them in Iowa, just in case someone tries to fact check me and say I'm making up stuff. 30th day. Amazing. Blew my mind. I'm looking off at the balcony, looking at a mountain, a sunset, the ocean's right behind me. I can throw a rock into the ocean. I'm looking at it. And I think to myself, man, soak it all in, Zach. Forgive me if you heard this story before. Second, third go around. Soak it all in, Zach, because you are never going to see this again. That's what I told myself. Back to regular life. Back to, the dollar menu at the time, right? I was eating McChickens and stuff at the time. And yeah, that's what I told myself. That voice in my head, that voice in your head, you control that voice. It may say things, but you control that voice based on what you let in. You can program that voice. That's what the purpose of these podcasts are. That's what the purpose of listening to the VC is you have a voice in your head that speaks to you and tells you who you are, what you're worth, what you're capable of, what's possible for your life. And if you want to change that voice, you have to program this mind of yours intentionally by choosing what you read, choosing who's in your social media feed, who has access to you, what you listen to. You're listening to this now. This is a great decision for your life, but you still have a standard. If you only do this once in a while, and you're going to go back to 74 degrees instead of 68. You may leave here Thurston Waffles or Bubba Gump or Cats of Crypto or Amos or Adiyami or Jin King. You may leave here inspired and motivated. But if you go back and you're leaving here at 68, you're going to go back to 74 unless you change it. So that's that. Okay. You know that. So I'm there and I say, this is it. Like, back to regular life. I'm never going to see this again. Then 10 seconds later, the self-talk in my mind changes and a new thought or a new voice arrives in my head. And it says, no, screw that, dude. Screw that. I am never, not only am I going to see this again, which I did 2 more times, by the way. Not only am I going to see this again, I am going to 10x this reality. I grew up my whole life thinking my grandparents were rich. They had recently passed away, unfortunately, 2 years ago now. That was something we dealt with. They unfortunately passed away, very, very close with them. And then I figured out, I don't know, I think their whole net worth was like $1 million, a little bit more than that. I thought my whole life that my grandparents were rich. And now $1 million to me is nothing. And so I was like, wow, they have this and we can get everything we want for Christmas. What a standard. What a way of thinking. And so now, like, it's not even 10x. Like, I'm one of the biggest dreamers in the world. I dream. I go to the very, very top. When I want to set my standard, I go to the biggest dreamers in the world. This is how I dream. This is not because I'm special. This is not because I'm better than you. We're the same. We're the same. Maybe I'm got a little bit nicer beard than you. I have to be a little conceited. I am very blessed and happy to have a nice beard. I do know that. And that's just call it ego, whatever. I am blessed to have the beard. Not everyone can, I see some people who don't have the beard. I am blessed with that. I will say that. But other than that, you look at the top, there's people who are completely bald with no beard. There's people who are 4'8" and there's a guy with one arm and no legs who's at the high level. That's the standard I choose. Go to the very top. Show me the biggest dreamers in the world. How can I compete? How can I get there? That choice is available to you. That standard that you set is available to you too. The only thing stopping you today is your current standard, your current thermostat in your mind of what's possible for your life. Perhaps it's time to raise that. Perhaps it's time to expose yourself to greatness and go off on one of these adventures. And that vacation for me was a time where I exposed myself to greatness and my whole standard leveled up. And I said, bigger, better. I've changed my standard multiple times by having a vision wall. We talked about that 3-4 episodes ago. Go back on Spotify and listen to the vision wall episode. I have these images in my room. When I started my vision wall, I wrote my entire life's dreams on the vision wall. Entire life, everything I wanted out of life, my whole lifetime. Another 60, 70 years, everything. I thought I put it up there. This is my life. This is what I want. And then within a week, I realized I wasn't dreaming big enough. And now today, 5.5, 6 years later, what I thought were my entire life's dreams are like what I want to achieve in the next year, the whole life's dreams I want to achieve in the next 7 years. So think of that. I just saved myself. I'm 30, basically, early 30. I stopped tracking birthdays, 30, 31, something like that. Maybe 32. I stopped tracking 3-4 years ago. I lie to myself so I can stay young. That 30 years old, okay? And now I want to cram it into a decade. So that means I'm 40, 41, 42. And now I have my dreams. 52, 62, 72. Let's go on the low side and say 82, but let's not, because I'm a dreamer. So we're taking myself to 92 as long as there's not an apocalypse. That's 5 more decades. If I can achieve that in 1 decade, I could avoid falling into the trap that all those other gurus did. It's that they never dreamed big enough. That's what they all say. That's what the 65 and the people that you want to be like, who have a huge house and drive in the nice cars and are free and chase their dreams, they say, but now I'm all out of time. I'm 64. I'm this age. And man, if only I would have realized it. If I could go back in time, the only thing I'd change is I would dream bigger. Bing bong. Come on. Tell me I gave you nothing. You're lying. You'd be lying if you said I gave you nothing. That was layers of alpha on alpha. And that's why this isn't Dream Talk. This is Dreamers University. Because if it was Dream Talk, I would just say, hey, expose yourself to greatness. But we went in other intricacies of your mind, the depth, so you can understand, comprehend, fathom what's possible for you in your life. And that's why the dream exists. That's why DreamCat exists. DreamCat is here to inspire, to uplift, to educate, and help people to dream bigger. It's a vehicle. DreamCat is a vehicle. The Telegram is a vehicle. You can buy some tokens to bet on this vehicle. You can bet, man, how big is the project going to be of one of the biggest dreamers in the world, who's building the largest community of dreamers in the world, who's never going to give up, a much bigger than 66,000 market cap. I can tell you that. So you have that to go on. Be a part of the dream community. Take accountability with us. Most dreamers work out each day. Are you working out? Are you working on your body? If you want some form of financial freedom, if you want to be a millionaire, millionaires are in good shape. They work out. They're healthy, right? Some aren't. You got billionaires who are overweight, but on the odds, averages. That's just a habit, right? How about chipping away at your dream each day? What have you done today to move closer to your dream? What did I do today? I worked on my personal website for 4 hours. To improve that needs to get done for my personal brand. And now I'm here with you guys recording a podcast that 266 people saw. So that's a form of value that I'm giving, right? It's not huge, but it's something. So the goal is to move closer to your dream every single day. But if you're not ready for that, and you're like, yo, you want to be crazy and read the books, you want to have $1 bajillion. I literally just want to have a pool in my backyard. That's all I want. That's okay too. We set the standard really, really high. Now your pool in your backyard should be nothing. If some people's standard is $1 million and the pool in your backyard is what, 20, 30K? Now it should be like, well, damn. Now if I just raise my standard of possibility and what's possible for me, why can't I have the pool? That's another thing. When you start to dream bigger, when you get bigger problems, your last biggest problem becomes a small problem. When you dream bigger, your old biggest dream, man, one of my dreams, I want to take my family to Disney and go on the Disney dream and take them on their dream vacation. That's the story I was going to tell. Got it. Okay. Man, I want to do this. And that's my dream. And guess what? I did it. And now it's like, I've been to Disney. I'm going to go to Disney. I'm going to go to Hollywood Studios if you want to meet up in real life. I'm going to be at Hollywood Studios tomorrow. Okay, Hollywood Studios in Orlando. I'm going to be there tomorrow. And I was there yesterday. And now, what a standard. It went from dreaming of going to Walt Disney World someday to I've been there 24 hours ago and 24 hours from now. What a standard. It's a standard shift. You can shift your life at any time. You can raise your standard at any time. It's a choice. It's not your current reality. You got to listen to what we listen to. Adiyami, bro. You are the one who's listening to the VCs. You better level up. if you're paying attention, you're typing that stuff out, you know, you go to the end, you dream it up, you believe it, you feel it, you go to the end of the rainbow, you see it and you feel it. And then you manifest it forward, right? Based on your belief, which is Dreamcat is built on. So now I'm going to go to one last story, read some more comments. Then I'm going to see if anyone typed in greatness. I'm taking note. And then, we're going to go through the quote of the day, take a look at the chart. And if there's any questions or whatever, ask them. Thank you, whoever's on Facebook. He sent me a little heart, and a little thumbs up. This is the first time I can see the Facebook reactions, and I love it. I'm excited about that. So the last story was for my own family, exposing them to greatness. And this is just real life. I'm just talking about my stories. Oh, I don't want that banner up. When did that get there? Has that been there the whole time? Yikes. I hope not. Okay. So in 2023, I picked a dream. I had 5-6 dreams, and I picked the next target. This was to take my family on their dream vacation. That includes my mother, my sister. I got a 22-year-old sister, and she has a daughter who's 3 years old. I have a 17-year-old brother, and I have a 11-year-old sister. 2 years ago, I said I want to take all of them and my mom on a dream Disney vacation. Why? Because my life changed. They all lived in the same house as me. Not my sister's daughter, but at one point in time, we all lived in the same house. Crazy. But you got to raise up, right? So I want to raise up my family. I went to Disney. I watched the movies. They watched movies. I said, man, actually, I'm going deeper now. Real story time. Holy crap. Okay, full story. Taking you back, reeling you back. I'd never been to Disney World my entire life. I grew up on the movies, Hercules, Aladdin. I'm the genie on X, right? Cool. It's all about dreams coming true. I love dreams. I say, man, I need to go, but I'm waiting for, I don't know, a girlfriend or a family or other people to go. I said, I'm just going to go by myself. I'm going to go all by myself. And I did. And I went for one day. I said, I don't need to go for the whole vacation. I only need to go for one day. So I went for a Christmas event to Magic Kingdom for 24 hours. I don't even remember if I stayed in a hotel or not. I think, yeah, I did. A one-day extravaganza. It wasn't that much. I was like, wow, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Expose yourself to greatness. This is exactly what I did. So I bought the ticket, I don't know, $160, got a cheapy flight. It was like round trip, like $200, hotel room, 100 something bucks. Maybe I spent $500-600. So that was still, wasn't going to break the bank, but like I was grinding like everyone else, making, nothing crazy at my mom's house. Still, I had a circumstance. And so I go there, I have the one night, and it's magical for me because I'm a dreamer. And I don't care what you say. I don't care about politics. I don't care about anything. What you think of Disney. I agree. They're woke today. But the theme parks inspire greatness. They inspire imagination. I go there, I'm going down a ride. And at the moment when I'm going backwards in the ride, I have this like pause, freeze moment where life freezes, where everything freezes. And I say like, oh my gosh, I start to dream in real time. And I say, my sister needs to see this. My family needs to see this. So I was inspired. I said that. I went home and I said, it was amazing. You guys got to go. Mark my words. I'm going to take you someday. That's what I said. And then we're all talking, oh, Zach, whatever. Oh, family doesn't believe in me. And I say, you watch. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you. That's the real story, actually, if you want to make it real. I came home and I told them all, and I said, I'm going to take you guys all someday on a dream vacation. Then fast forward a few years later, I'm looking at my dream goal list for the year, and I'm saying, it's time for me to chase dreams. I'm a dream chaser. I don't care about reality. I don't care about a career and a job. I chase dreams. This is my reality. I'm looking at the list. There's 5 things on the list. I say, this is the one I'm picking this year. I'm just going to start chasing dreams. Take my family on a dream Disney vacation. Okay. That's what it was. I did all the math, calculated how much it costs, what I need. Boom. $17,891. Remember, no Motel 6. I told you that. That's the standard. No peanut butter and jelly in a lunchbox. No, we're going to eat at the good restaurants. We're going to stay at the nicest hotels because you must expose yourself to greatness. And so my goal, which I feel really happy sharing, because it was of course I want to go to Disney again, but it was somewhat of a selfless goal. As I said, exposing myself to greatness changed my life. And it didn't happen to me until I was like 23, maybe. Okay. Later. And I said, I have the chance to give my mom this gift, give my siblings this gift who are, 17, 20, whatever, the little one. I have the chance to give them this taste. And we did. Raise the money, bomb. We went. It was exciting adventure. I almost got arrested at Disney. I drove all the way down on Thanksgiving. I dressed up as Carl. I did all these things, right? Shouted, made signs. I helped as many people as I could, made their dream come true. I never begged for money. I gave value, which is what we're going to do in Dream. Now, I did all this and we went. And this was the story I wanted to tell. We stayed in the standard at home is like, the current house, which is, it's just a house. It's an okay house. It's old. It's got like those brown wood panels on the side, right? And so we stayed in a decked out Airbnb where my mom, who, loves Cinderella and all that, her bedroom is like a trellis, right? Where it's like silks coming down and there's, a princess decked out, makeup station. Then I go in my brother's room and it's Star Wars and the whole thing lights up and there's galaxies on the sky and the lamps and the everything. And then we go into the game room that has 8 arcades in it, an Xbox, whatever the top Xbox is, PlayStation 5, the newest Xbox, a whole gaming chair, 2 gaming computers. We go outside to the pool where there's a hot tub and TVs where we can watch movies and there's a margarita bar. And then we go into my room. I stayed in the Harry Potter room and I stayed in the Toy Story room, right? Where everything, everyone has a bathroom. There's only one bathroom at the OG house, where my family is today, but everyone had a bathroom there. My brother came out and he gave me a hug within 10 minutes. He said, "Thank you so much. Amazing. It's what you live for." I talked to my mom 3 weeks ago, and that's why this topic is up now. I talked to her and she had told me, hey, you told me to dream. You told me to dream about my big house. And I have been dreaming. And she told me about how staying in that house for 7 days, I brainwashed them all. They got to stay. We got to sit at the table. They got to open the fridge. They got to use the bathroom. They got to go to sleep. They lived in the good life for 7 days. Money is not an issue. We can order food. We can go here. And it impacted her. And she just told me that the other day. She's like, when we went, I just keep thinking. And now she's talking about like, should I move to Florida? Or, maybe she was dreaming with me on the phone. She's like, well, remember you told me just to dream big. And I don't know like how I'm going to get this, but like, here's what I want. I'm in love with it. One of the best conversations I had with my mom. I'm like, you're inspiring me now. You're making me excited. So that's the story, but that is proof of using my family in that sense to expose them to greatness and how it changed their thought pattern of what should be normal, because you go from that and then you come back to normal. And that's what happens. You change your mind. You say, man, why should I live in Illinois that's gloomy and blue and gray and cold when I could go to the beach in Florida every day? It's all a choice, right? It's just, it's fear, it's comfort. So anyway, that was extreme over time, but I'm really glad. Hopefully that could be somewhat impactful. I'm really excited to share that story. I love that. I love that story. That's dreaming in real life. That's dreaming in real time. All right, let's check out some comments and head over to the next section of this whole shindiggery. All right, let's see who we got here. You can dream big as much as you want. That's Adiyami. Yes, sir. Always so insightful. Thank you, sir. Agent Zach 008. Oh, because the suit? Yeah. I'm dressing like Dreamcat, man. You gotta dress the part. So here we go. Let's see what Amos has to say. So basically, it's about deliberately positioning yourself in places, communities, and habits that elevate your perspective. Yes, in a sense, Amos, right? So like, if it's not normal for you, like, okay, Amos, you live in Nigeria, correct? So maybe your coworkers are your coworkers, but what you can do is you're hanging out with us right now. So you're in circles talking to certain people, okay? And they all have a standard. Man, one soul would be great, or $5,000 would be great. Well, now we have this room open. We have the dreamers open. My vision for Dreamcat community, right, is there's more dreamers there. We're just going to keep building and then we're going to find them. But when there's 4, 5, 6 dreamers in there, Amos, who are saying, man, I just bought my new Corvette. I just put down the down payment on my house. all these other things. You're like, well, dude, I'm here with all these people. Like, I mean, man, I was in Dreamcat in day one. I was there and like, dang, like, okay, so what do I do? That's one way, right? The Dreamcat community is a special environment. I know no one roots for people. I know it's rare, which is why I want to make that. So that's one thing. But the other thing for you, bro, is the special experience. So go on a one-off. So if you have your certain situation, I see you win 0.1 soul here, maybe you want to invest it and be smart, but can you find one of these situations where in your own community, you can level up? So it's like going to dressing the part, dressing in your finest clothes and having that meal, or staying in that hotel, or a staycation, right? Going to the nicest place in your community, to be treated as a big boss, dress the part, practice. And by the way, Amos, like, it's crazy to me how young you are. Like, I'm pretty sure you're young, like 19, 20, 21, 22. Dude, the fact that you can hear this right now is an amazing opportunity. Amazing. I'm so glad you're here, honestly. Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, RIP the grandparents. Hey, yeah, Bubba, I was actually thinking of you, by the way, because you told me about the pool, but I'm pretty sure you have the pool now, don't you? I don't remember if you still want. I'm pretty sure you told the story that you wanted the pool, you got in crypto, and then you got the pool. I was pretty sure, but I did think of you with that example. So I finished trailer 2 today for the stream. By the way, you're doing some awesome stuff on the stream. I'd love to know how you made Ninja Cat dance on your stream. You tried the same service, so maybe I can't do it here. I think I like StreamYard. But you made Ninja Cat as an avatar dance on stream. That's crazy to me. That would be really cool to do situationally, to like pull up Dream somehow and say like Dreamcat, and make them appear. So if you have any trade secrets, I'd love to know. So he said, I wish 20, 30K. Oh, so the pool was more. Wow, really? Actually? I'm actually kind of curious now. How much for an in-ground pool? Can you get an in-ground? Well, here's one of the questions. Can you get an in-ground pool for 30 grand? Do I need to ask Rock? An in-ground pool costs average $65,000, but most homeowners pay between 45 to 87. Wow, more than I thought. 115K. Holy smokes! Can I borrow $1? Heck no. That's what someone who didn't transform their mindset would say. They say, man, 115K in a pool. I don't know what they'd say. I'm up next. Failed punchline. This is what happens when you're live. This is the risk of going live. You may try to set up a joke and have nothing to say. But congratulations on the pool. That's awesome. I'm glad you have one. I'm just messing with you, dude. But there you go. That's all a standard, right? Shout out to Bubba for being transparent. I don't know I actually don't know where his startup journey is. So that'd be a cool story sometime. But hey, there's someone here who was able to get that pool because they had that vision, right? They knew it was possible for them. Awesome. Amazing. Trailer 2 on the stream. Amazing. In my season of manifestation, I love it, Adiyami. Action combined with manifestation. That's what it takes. Remember that. I did, but not from here. I got you. Just DM me. I'm broke now. Okay, cool. We caught up on the comments. Awesome. Well, that's what I got for there. Okay, let's go over to take a quick peek at the Dreamcat chart. All right. Let's take a gander over here, catch up on the Dreamcat chart. I'm going to read some more comments as well. I saw a few people comment. Okay, so, oh, that's the wrong place to zoom in. I need to zoom in over here. All right, quick peek. You hear this every week. This is the Dreamcat chart, okay? I actually was doing some documentation today so I can give you some new alpha, or not new alpha, I give you old alpha. Let me get myself on the screen here. I give you some old alpha. The old alpha is, I was reading my notes. It cost me $4,000 just for the liquidity pool to start Dream. Cats of Crypto, you're still here. Here's a test, 1, 2, liquidity pool. It cost me $4,000, I read, to start Dream. That's so crazy because 10 months later, you could launch a meme coin for like nothing, right? On Pump Fund for cheap, you could launch one. So it cost me $4K to do it. I did it. All the other stuff, the website, the other stuff, I think it cost me like another $600-700. So I started there. The starting market cap of Dreamcat on day 1, it went up to 7,000 market cap. So I launched. I had the wrong Telegram, no promotions. I had to leave the next day. 7,000 market cap was day one Dream. After that, it fell down to 5K. The special thing about Dream is it's wide open to the believer. It's open. This, all you have to do is believe in your dream. Believe in the dream. It started at 5K. People were gobbling it up at 342 and 500K and 600K saying, man, this is going so high, because seeing is believing for them. We got to base it on belief. I watch these shoot down. However low we go, that's all based on belief. That just, we can change that belief. We can alter that belief. But 7,000 down to 5,000 was chilling at 5,000. I made a note and I said, I read it in my journal. It said, things are getting up a little bit. We're at 9,000 market cap. Then I did one space and went from 9,000 to 57,000 in 1 hour, right? Just from one space. And now today we're at 66,000 market cap. So in the beginning, when we were crap, when we were based on nothing, when nothing was formed, 9K to 55, 57K. Now we're at 66K today. To me, I posted a video that I said Dream is the biggest bargain. Let's actually watch it right now. I said Dream is the biggest bargain on the, I'll just let the video talk. How about that? Here we go. Get the volume up. Listen to this. I don't even need to say it. You can just, if you're listening to this and you have none, it could be the biggest mistake of your life. Not financial advice, but this is just real. If I could give you reasons why to do that, and somehow someday it could be 100,000x, then why have you not put in 50 bucks? This is why I can make the case on a stage wherever I'm at that everyone should have 50 bucks. And it's why people are going to buy once we string it all together, because you cannot defeat the reasoning and thesis that I would give for a dream. If you're listening to this and you have none, it could be the biggest mistake of your life. Not financial advice, but that's my messaging. So when I play this podcast and 308 people stop by and you're in the Telegram and you know about Dream, you've heard about Dream. I know this too. I know about other meme coins that I've heard of that I haven't bought any of. The reason why I haven't bought any is because I don't believe. The thing about Dream is if when I said thesis and reasoning, that means me speaking. If I gave you a 1 hour pitch right now about everything Dream and you chose to not buy it based on that, that would be crazy to me. If I pulled up the PDF and this 3 hour thing was all 311 of you had to watch this PDF. If you read that PDF, it's 66,000 market cap with 17 months of proof, proving concepts, all these things back in time, and you held zero, that would be the craziest thing in the world to me. I understand today that we are in a pocket. We are in, the people who are here are OGs. We're not reaching a lot of new people today. We're in our own little ecosystem. So people who are up and down, I'm not expecting them to buy more every day. We're just yelling to that. We're just talking to the people who we already know. Things change when you get beyond that. Actions change. For now, I've been transparent. Build, doing these things. Okay. But my video, if you've heard of Dream, not having $50 could be, I'm not saying it is, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Not owning $50, I can't fathom that if you have the fun. Like if that's normal to you and you drop a soul in this, a soul in this, how do you not own $50 of Dream? In my opinion, every single person who can hear this should absolutely have a Dream bag. You don't even need to be a part of our community. You don't even need to show up. How do you not? If you read that PDF, how do you not have any? We've told you, but everyone tells you showing is what matters most. Trust me, I know this. I am fully aware of this. I don't need to, I don't want to sell you every day, need to sell you every day. Action does the most. And the truth is you're talking, the things that you create, that you do, they do create an output, right? An input creates an output that creates motion. Well, I understand that. I'm not trying to like scream at the top of my lungs. I'm simply planting a seed, unbothered, moisturized, not worthy, not worrying about it, just realizing the dream is the dream. But I'm passionate about it because people are here. This is my perspective, right? Is people are like, man, how I'm going to pick on LFG Nath. Number one, where are you at? You're in a lot of places, but you're not here. Number two, he talks about his dreams. He talks about how he's got scammed and rugged. First of all, I'm going all in on LFG Nate. First of all, he's been rugged 3-4 times. Why haven't you changed? I got rugged too for a lot. I've changed things. Thankfully, I haven't been rugged since. Okay? No crypto on this computer. Leave me alone. He's been rugged 3-4 times. He's had Dream. When I talked to him last, I said, how much Dream do you own? Pull it up. He said none. Then I asked him again, like months later, he's like 1,000. You could get, I mean, for $1, I don't even know how much, maybe 10,000 tokens. Nate, you talk about your reality. You talk about how life is hard. You talk about all these things. Not only has he read the PDF, he's been here since the beginning. He was here at 7K. He was one of those random people at 79K. He watched it go to 734K. Now it's down. There's still no belief. Nath, this is where my compassion comes in. I want people to win. I want, even if you're here in the beginning and you get a little bit, I see people sell 40, someone sold 47 cents. That's probably someone who won a small giveaway. That's your own, that will come back to you. Because if you're here and you can't capture any belief, I don't know what to say. Seeing is what, but it's like the biggest risk on what we're trying to accomplish. It's such a big risk that I think when things come to pass, people will start to realize that it's too big of a risk not to have a $50, $100 one soul bag. And I think that will generate some motion. How do you not? I don't comprehend it, but we'll get there. That's the messaging. It exists. It's out there. If you're listening, Dreamcats at 66K, read about us. Take a gander. Okay. Now that's out of the way. Let's go to the good old quote of the day. I see Iggy Libre here. Shout out to him. He made 5-6 pieces of content today. He is chipping in for the dream, right? And I just say, man, if 10 people all made one piece of content a week, imagine what that would do for our library. It may only take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Appreciate that, bro. Let's go to the quote of the day. The quote of the day is not anybody famous. It's actually something that I just like. I'm cherry picking. So I saw this quote. It's from a random ministry by a lady named Evelyn Diane. And I just was looking for quotes that fit what I wanted to talk about today. And I love what she said. So I'm going to read it. Whatever you constantly expose yourself to will eventually start to look normal to you because you will begin to adapt as if it was normal. Expose yourself to greatness and you will eventually become great too. One more time. Whatever you constantly expose yourself to will eventually start to look normal to you because you will begin to adapt as if it was normal. So you see, yeah, I know this is very real because I've witnessed it. I've experienced it multiple times. I think I've given you enough examples, but working for my boss, there's a certain standard. He does this, we go there. And it's like, well, I don't want to go backwards now. I want that. Apartment. I don't want to go backwards now. I want that. I stayed in a hotel, shit AC, woke up in the middle of the night. I said, never again. Standard. Raise your standard. Expose yourself to greatness, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, from here, we're going to do these giveaways. Okay, I owe 2 people giveaways. Did anyone comment greatness? That's what we were asking for. I only see 1 notification. Maybe nobody did it. Let's see. I'll check the Telegram too. Let's see. Man, my man Cody dropping some love. Can you guys see this on the screen? No, you can't. I'm so sorry. I'm a bad host. Let's look at this. My man Cody just out here showing love. I know he's in another space somewhere, but he still drops a comment. Want to learn how to chase a dream? I mean, your very own dream? Tap into Dreamcat. He has a wealth of advice in IRL when it comes to manifestation in dreams. Just my observation. I'm commenting now. Dude, the dream loves you. Shout out to Cody. This is a pure-hearted dude. I like people like this. This is people I want to be around, right? And he's chasing his dreams in real time. Boss voice and you know what voice. Yes, Andy Frisella talks about that. There it is. Adiyami, greatness. Bingo, bango. Hey, you might be the one, Adiyami. Okay, we got Jin King. Unleash your inner greatness. Man, I'd love to put some dream in Jin King's hands. Jin King's just everywhere, bro. He's just he's more in like techie stuff from what I read, but I just like your energy, bro. If you're not a dreamer yet, we got to make you a dreamer. Speaking of bangers, look at that. Love this gem. See, I made Iggy look good. He made him look good. Can I make fun of Iggy though? I've been holding on to this for a while. Now you guys are going to notice. It'll just be an inside joke. You got to keep it on the inside. Occasionally when Iggy makes the edits, I notice that it makes Iggy a woman. Iggy, what are those? What are those? If you look really closely, look, thin waist. Got some motion up top. Yeah, I noticed that one day. Funny. But most people won't notice. It's an inside joke now. It's still a crazy edit. I probably didn't even notice the first time because it was black. But if you're looking at the picture, just take a close look at that. That's funny. Yeah, Thurston Waffles. Dreamcast. Love it, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Let's keep coming. 56 participants. Let's go, Adiyami. Okay, cool. Greatness. I'm going to do a quick gander of Telegram. Adiyami might just be able to hand you some dream, bro. Right to you. Anyone in the Telegram say greatness? I got to figure out too. I'd like your guys' advice. Please. Now that you're here, if you feel up for it. So I'm putting this on YouTube. Hey, there's someone who got $50. So someone who, I mean, it's not a new holder. Maybe they just added $50. I said, you got to have at least $50. Someone added $50 to their bag. Kudos to that person. So now we're at 67K. Guess what? It could go up. It could go down. That's on you. If you heard this and you believe, no one can take your tokens away from you. $50 is 463,000 tokens. That is crazy. Okay, I see PZ Dave in there. People rolling the dice. Okay, Adiyami, man. Dream for you. Right like that. You won that one. Just by typing greatness. 10,000. Good for you. I just sent it to you, and I still owe Soja. Okay. I want to ask you guys this advice. So I do this show. It's still evolving. Maybe we'd like to bring on other guests. Maybe someone could help manage it somehow. I don't know how it's going to evolve. We used to have a co-host. It used to be on Twitter. Evolutions. We'll see how things go. What I was thinking of is I started putting this on YouTube. I put this on YouTube once. I really love the live experience. I love engaging with you guys along the way. I love reading the comments. I feel like they shape it. But what I've noticed is when people are in the live moment, they're more likely to hang around for a long time. Like I wouldn't watch a 90-minute video on YouTube, but I'd join a live because it's unpredictable and you can impact it with your words. I wonder if I put this on YouTube, there's no way for me to cut and edit it unless I'm like a pro. I'd be chopping out all these pieces. I want to give people the direct. What do you guys think I should do? Do you think I should just do my whole bulk message and not read any messages when I do the whole rampage message and just clip that one direct full fire message and put that on YouTube? Because anyone who's watching the YouTube went through 18 minutes of intros. They don't care unless they're a dreamer. I'm curious if you have thoughts. Okay, let's go to the final giveaway for the people here rocking out. Did you know that, Libre? Were you aware of that or no? Or you knew and I just finally noticed and said something? Okay. MVPs. I really just look at who's active with us, right? So again, I still see Thurston here. Love seeing the support of Cody and Bubba and the Dreamcat community. Yeah, hopefully I support those guys enough. Bubba says I do, which is good because sometimes I feel I don't, but they're everywhere. Bubba, I mean, been here the whole time, man. He says he's not doing me any favors. He says I'm here to learn. Shout out to Bubba. Adiyami here for the whole stream, man. Amos asking questions, right? I see Iggy here. I think Iggy, I know I'm not going to make him, comment a million times, but I see him here. Cat's Crypto is here a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'll just give it a couple comments. Maybe I'll give it to people who commented a little bit today. That's kind of how I'm feeling. So we'll do that. We'll throw Cats of Crypto in there. I appreciate the support, by the way. A few of the people here, are other project devs. That's the biggest way that we support each other, right? Is devs supporting devs. I love to do it. Sure, we'll throw Iggy in there. Dropped a few comments, hopping in the conversation. Inside joke, had to be there, unless you listen to the replay. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people eligible. Shout out to everyone else who popped by. Oh, I can see it's Jonathan Enke who gave me the care and Claudio Guerrero. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Cool. I like this Facebook stuff. Sweet. Let's do a number generator. 1 through 6. Pull it up on the screen. Bingo. Bango. Bongo. Here we go. Spin and roll. It's a 2. 2 is Thurston Waffles. Thurston, I think you have a wallet set up. I'm not 100% sure. But if you're in the Dream community, you have a wallet set up, I got you. 10,000 Dream. Congratulations, my man. Cool. Well, here's the good news. Is normally after these, the night is over. I'm going to hang out. It's only 8:39. Amazing. I'm going to head over to the Dream community. I'm going to open up a VC if anyone wants to pop by, hang, and talk both ways. And I'm going to hunt some raids for about an hour, see what I can comment on, just to put a little motion out there today. So if you want to take part in that, join us over there. Thanks for joining Dream Talk. It was apparently rigged. I picked them all, right? Yeah. No, I rigged it. Yeah, that's what I did. And yeah, shout out to all the believers. We'll catch you guys on the next one. It's going to be good. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but it's going to be good. That's all for now. Keep up with us. I am the Genie, a.k.a. Dreamcat, a.k.a. Zach Krupp. Until next time, ta-ta, cheerio.